Hello everyone, good to see you. Now, if you've had your ears pointed to anything around the game developer tool Unity, you'll know that it's initiated some pretty bad propositions in recent times. In a post last week, the company reported that Unity would be charging game developers up to 20 cents for each game after a certain threshold is met. This would start on January 1st, 2024, which isn't that far from now. This is not asking developers to share the profits made on the game, and instead are a flat fee per installation. For titles that are free to download, whether it's from a service like Game Pass, Humble Bundles, free-to-play games, and so on, that can cause pretty irreparable damage and financial problems with enough installs. Installs, by the way, that can be easily abused and used against developers. And as you might have expected, developers have been rioting. So much so that Unity has backtracked and is considering changes, including a cap on potential fees, as reported in an update by Jason Schreier. Tentatively, Unity will limit fees to 4% of a game's revenue for customers making over $1 million, and said that installations counted towards reaching that threshold will not be retroactive. That one bit is very important because some companies like the Chinese developer Hoyoverse, with free-to-play games with many downloads like Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail, would incur a massive fee. And I can tell you right now, they would not stand for that. And while they're throwing a number down, that 4%, not only is it a sizable amount, it's more the fact that this is after already breaking trust between developers and customers. They're not canceling the fees, they're negotiating, and it's leaving an even more sour taste in our mouths. The company is having meetings and discussing at length what to do from here and how to communicate to us without further misunderstandings or need for clarifications, but it's kind of too late for some. Particularly for developers who are already well into making their games using the Unity engine and have understandably jumped ship to other avenues like potentially the Unreal Engine. Chief Executive Developer John Riccitiello had to delay meetings and close offices down after the company received a death threat. Following everything that's happened, he stated, "I don't think there's any version of this that would have gone down a whole lot differently than what happened." Well, many developers, consumers, and myself know exactly how it could have gone a whole lot differently, and that's the version where you don't propose such a malicious business model in the first place. Oh, but that's not all. In the initial statement, Unity claimed that their runtime fees would not apply to charity games. Well, it was just reported from the developers of indie puzzle game Organizer that Unity told them organizations like Planned Parenthood are not valid charities and are instead political groups. Developer Lizard Factory has said that with the 20 cents per install, if they reach a certain threshold, it would cost them about 30% of the funds that they've gathered and have already sent to charity. Unity is asking this of developers for a charity cause. This means that money that would be going towards nonprofit organizations like Planned Parenthood and CS Mott Children's Hospital in Michigan would be going to Unity's pockets instead. With all of the miscommunication and blatant breaches of trust, people are rightly livid at this entire situation. This has caught the attention of the European Game Developers Federation, or EGDF. They have voiced their concerns, stating that this is a sign of a looming game engine market failure. They have stated that it has significantly damaged its reputation as a reliable and predictable business partner, akin to anti-competitive market behavior that must be carefully monitored, and if required, the European competition authorities must step in. Essentially, they are really starting to poke the hornet's nest with the wrong people because they realize that they can kill part of the gaming market with this move. Small developers have become such an integral part of this community, complementing the releases of higher-end titles while providing the space for wildly creative ideas and genres. Indie developers that tote the line between being marginally successful and just barely generating enough revenue will be punished and will be discouraged for the creation of free-to-play, free-to-download titles. Unity at this time is still generating their official statement, but if things go as they are, their decision could impact the game industry ecosystem. But with the EGDF locking them into their sights, it's hard to tell what direction this shift will ultimately cause for developers and people like us that just want to play good games and support great developers. But what are your thoughts? Do you think Unity is going to backpedal completely? Are you perhaps a developer that has been affected by these decisions? Let us know down below and consider subscribing to Good Vibes Gaming for more news updates like this one, discussions, features, and other topics to come. Thanks so much for watching. Till we meet again.